I'm Tamara Holder, and this is Sports Court. Is there anything more American than going to a football game and seeing our soldiers on the field unfurling a big U.S. flag? Well, new reports show the U.S. Department of Defense is actually paying the NFL millions, that's millions of dollars, to honor our troops at the games using your taxpayer money. One U.S. Senator is speaking out about this, and he joins me now from D.C., Senator Jeff Flake. Welcome, Senator. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
So your investigation reveals that the Department of Defense from 2011 to 2014 paid $5.4 million for sponsorship deals with 14 NFL teams. What prompted you to look into this?
You know, we are always looking for wasteful spending wherever it is, and our staff just kind of stumbled onto this one. A contract that the New York Jets had with the NFL, with the DOD, Department of Defense, and it was fairly well spelled out in terms of what that money had to be used for, and it included these salutes, and then we looked, and it turned out that several other NFL teams had similar deals, and we're really still trying to get more information from DOD. There are some reports that it was considerably more than $5 million over 4 years.
Well, the fact that you went public with this is really interesting because it seems like a lot of politicians are afraid to investigate the NFL, or at least afraid to go public with what they've learned. So have you received support from your colleagues?
Well, so far, everybody's just kind of shocked to learn this, that these feel-good moments are paid for by the U.S. taxpayer. Not in all cases. Some NFL teams have no contract. I should point that out. And let me say as well, I don't begrudge the NFL or any team from signing these contracts. It's a form of advertising. They get the revenue. Who I fault is DOD, Department of Defense, and the government for actually doing this.
Right.
Now, I can see the reason. I think we all can. The need to recruit, set up a recruiting tent, or have a relationship with teams for that purpose. But when everybody assumes, when you have these feel-good moments, these salutes, that it's because the NFL team just felt good about the military or about service, and then to find out now it's really the taxpayers paying for that, that just leaves you with an empty feeling.
Well, the NFL has enjoyed this tax-free status for so long. They just gave it up last month in April because they said it was a distraction. Do you know, or are you going to investigate whether the teams were paying taxes on the taxpayer revenue, or if they paid the NFL this revenue and then the NFL also didn't pay taxes on it? Because there's that double dipping, it seems.
Well, I haven't looked at that aspect at all. I'd be surprised if there's an angle there. But it's just a question of whether the taxpayer should be shelling out all this money. And we're finding it goes deeper than the NFL. There are contracts with soccer teams. There were big contracts in the past with NASCAR sponsorship. But then the National Guard couldn't show any link between recruitment and all that money being laid out, and so most of those contracts ended. I'm assuming that this will come under great scrutiny now.
Right, and their defense is that sports marketing spending has decreased by nearly 70% over the last 2 fiscal years, but to the viewer of the NFL and professional sports, it sure doesn't seem like marketing has decreased. What do you say to that?
It sure doesn't, and that's why we're actually, we put in a letter yesterday, a very detailed letter requesting information from the Department of Defense to see what is being spent and what it's being spent on. And we're hearing all kinds of numbers now with independent investigations going on, and people that have viewed some of these contracts. And so it's a considerable amount of money, particularly at a time when the DOD is stretched considerably. We have budget issues with sequestration. Even without sequestration, we have budget issues. And to find out that money is being spent basically to honor people or salute just doesn't seem right.
So you said that you sent a letter. What else are you expecting to get from this, or what are your long-term goals?
Well, we're obviously investigating this beyond just the letter, but with that letter, we've asked specifically how much money is being spent. We also want to know, since it's been years that the NFL, I'm sorry, that DOD has been doing this, they ought to have some feeling about an ROI, a return on investment. Does it help with recruiting? Can we show quantitative link there? And I think the taxpayers certainly deserve that, and we're going to make sure they get it.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me and sharing this with all of our viewers who are taxpayers. I hope we come to a good resolution in this matter. So thank you very much, Senator.
So do I. Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you. Sports Court is adjourned.